You could be doing much better in the IELTS speaking test, but you're probably feeling nervous and your brain freezes, you don't know what to say. If you are worried about the IELTS speaking test, you feel nervous about it, and you're scared of going blank and not having anything to say, I've got the fix for you. So, if the thought of an IELTS speaking test fills you with anxiety, makes you nervous, this video is going to tell you how to fix it. Keep watching through to the end and learn 5 useful strategies to help you overcome performance problems in the speaking test. If you've clicked on this video for the first time, welcome to the IELTS Breakthrough YouTube channel. This is the channel where you can get important strategies for improving your score in IELTS so that you can study at an international university and progress in your career. Make sure that you subscribe and get access to all of the key information that is shown here. My name's David Bourne, and let's get started with talking about the anxiety problem for the speaking test. Now, the first thing to do is to actually understand where anxiety comes from. So, according to research and psychology, test anxiety comes from 3 different sources, or perhaps reasons for feeling anxious. Number 1 is fear of judgment. That means you might feel embarrassed about speaking in front of the examiner, knowing that your English ability is being assessed, and you just feel anxious that someone is testing you. The second source is lack of preparation. You feel that you're not ready to take the test. And then lastly, anxiety can come from unfamiliar situations. Being in an unfamiliar situation, obviously we do not take a speaking test every day in our lives, and this is going to be a new and quite stressful experience that probably we've never been in before, or at least we've only experienced a few times in our lives. Once you know the sources of anxiety, you're in a better place to address them. It's worth thinking about which of these 3 sources of anxiety apply to you. Let's look at 5 useful strategies that you can apply to overcome this test anxiety then. Note that some of these strategies will be useful to some people, other different strategies will apply to other people. So just think about each strategy that I show you in this video, try them out, see which one fits best for you. So the first thing you can do is to practice with real test situations. Make sure that you practice part 1, part 2 and part 3 of the speaking test, and use a timer. In fact, have the timer running on your computer screen or your mobile device so that you can see the time going by. Kind of put yourself under the test pressure when you're practicing. You could also do this in front of a video camera, in front of the mirror, or you could get a little test buddy, a good friend, or someone in your family to sit in front of you as you practice your speaking test. They actually do not need to say anything, just having them in front of you will help you to kind of overcome that performance anxiety. The idea behind this strategy is to get your brain to tell yourself the message, I've done this before. By doing this real practice, you're likely to tell that story, which will give you more confidence. Strategy number 2 is to do some reframing. This addresses the issue that we often let our negative thoughts control us. In terms of negative thoughts, when you're feeling anxious, you might have this story going on in your head. Oh my God, this is so scary. I cannot do it. I'm nervous. And those kind of feelings are just overtaking. You're listening to those nervous emotions that are going on. The idea is not to try and close them down, listen to them and then reframe them. So tell yourself, no, it's not nervous, I'm feeling excited, I'm pumped up to do this test. I know it sounds crazy, but you can reframe the messages you're telling yourself into something more positive and productive. A little tip here is to remember a little phrase that you can trigger when you feel nervous. The phrase could be something like this. This is my chance to show the examiner what I know. I'm ready for this. I'm going to show the examiner exactly how well I can speak English. Make your own little sentence along these lines and then say it when you feel those nerves coming up and taking control. Now, strategy number 3 is a bit more of a general strategy that is recommended for handling any kind of anxious situation, and it is using breathing techniques. The experts often recommend the boxed breathing technique. This is a simple thing. All you have to do is inhale for 4 seconds. That is, breathe in over 4 seconds. Just count 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 as you breathe in. Then hold your breath for another 4 seconds. Then exhale or breathe out over 4 seconds. And finally, hold your breath again for another 4 seconds. Breathing techniques are well known as a kind of reset to your mind, and your mind just concentrates on the breathing, especially when we are holding our breath. It kind of hijacks and stops all of those nervous thoughts flying around, and your mind tends to just concentrate more on the breathing. So you can kind of just stop those thoughts running around in your head with breathing exercises. Strategy number 4 is to just remember some useful phrases that you can use. Learning chunks of language can give you a bit more confidence and help you to overcome times when you get stuck when you are speaking. Here are 4 useful phrases that you can learn, but note that I've got a video on useful phrases, for example, giving opinions. Take a look at that as well, and you might want to learn those phrases I've talked about in that video where we learn how to express opinions. Anyway, here are the phrases I'm going to suggest now. One thing that comes to mind is, to be honest, it depends on the situation. If I had to choose, I'd probably say. Now, remember to memorize phrases. You do have to write them down, repeat them, say them many times, maybe put them on flashcards and actually learn those phrases so that they are automatically ready for you to use. And then strategy number 5 is to actually handle your mistakes. Let's face it, it's probably going to happen that when you are speaking, you kind of get stuck and you're not sure exactly what you want to say. So it's useful to have some recovery phrases. So this is strategy 5, to have recovery strategies. It's similar to the previous strategy in that your recovery needs to be phrases that you can learn and then apply them when you get to that point where you just need a few seconds to think of the English you need. So, learn these recovery phrases. Let me rephrase that. Sorry, what I meant was, and let me say that again. You only need to learn 3. You're not going to get stuck so many times. These 3 will be enough for you to learn. And then you can say them and just kind of recover your speech, recover your thoughts in the test. And they are some tips for helping you beat anxiety in the IELTS speaking test. Now, just remember that the examiner is looking to give you a score based on how effectively you can communicate in English. You do not need to deliver some kind of perfect speech that Winston Churchill would be proud of or anything like that. Just be yourself and you will do well in the speaking test. Let me just summarize the 5 strategies for you. Strategy number 1, practice the speaking test in real simulated conditions. Number 2, reframe the negative or nervous thoughts that you have. Number 3, reset your mind with breathing activities. Number 4, prepare useful language phrases. And strategy number 5, learn the 3 recovery phrases that give you time to collect your thoughts. If this video helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe to IELTS Breakthrough. And of course, if you have any questions about the speaking test, let me know in the comments. I read every comment and I'm here to help you. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, week, afternoon, weekend, whatever you are doing. I'll see you in the next tutorial.